The construction of shoddy buildings has long been a national problem for the Chinese people. Buying a house is an important life necessity for individuals. If you can buy a luxury house in China, it is considered a fortunate thing. However, under the rule of the CCP, even after spending a significant amount of money to purchase a luxury house, it is difficult to avoid encountering substandard construction. The first-line Riverview luxury houses worth tens of millions in Guangzhou, Binjiang, Shangdu, Xuanwan were revealed to have serious quality issues, including elevators dropping suddenly, tilting exterior walls, the use of inferior and harmful materials, hollow floors, uneven ground, water leakage in houses, and large-scale water seepage in the underground parking lot. An owner, Mr. Wang, told a mainland media reporter, "Mr. Wang, this gap between the door and the floor is likely to allow dust or cockroaches to enter." One owner joked that this is a resettlement house with a river view. What disappointed the owners further was that the developer initially used aluminum curtain walls for the building's exterior during construction. But upon delivery, the exterior material had been replaced with real stone paint. In response, a mainland media reporter contacted the developer. However, the relevant person in charge of CITIC Pacific Real Estate's marketing department stated they had to wait for the company's response. For the delivered houses failing to meet the promised standards, the owners of Guangzhou, Binjiang, Shangdu, Xuanwan Phase 1 collectively criticized the developer for poor delivery and unilateral downgrading of configurations, demanding the restoration of delivery standards. In a video, an owner defended their rights by holding a white umbrella and hanging a sign on their car. A red sign on a white car read, "Elevator dropping rapidly, false advertising, murder for money, downgraded configuration, poor decoration, inferior materials, serious water leakage." The umbrella displayed the words, "Lack of supervision, embezzlement, cutting corners, endangering lives, inferior materials, water seepage, and leakage." This highlights the core problem. The developer cut corners. However, if the regulatory department were strict, such issues would not arise. This demonstrates that Chinese real estate developers dare to build such low-quality houses because they have the support of officials at various levels. In other words, China's substandard construction projects result from corruption between CCP officials and businessmen. In China, it is not uncommon to encounter houses with serious defects. In this video, the roof of a neighbor's house suddenly collapsed. The homeowner said she was so frightened that she wanted to sell her house and move away. Coincidentally, a building in a community in Wuhan, Hubei province, also developed sudden cracks. In the Hongqi Xinjiu district of Wuchang, Wuhan, a loud explosion was heard, causing the entire building to shake and resulting in cracks in the house. Man, this door can no longer be closed, and the gap has widened. Some residents reported, "The whole building shook, and I woke up from my sleep." Others said, "Many homes are cracked, and the garage has cracks." A resident recorded a video showing the cracked wall of the underground garage. "Man, damn, it's cracked through. I guess this building is a bit dangerous. Look, it's cracked, really cracked." Another male resident posted a video saying the shaking and cracking resulted from the construction near the Zunzi River. Man, the impact of the digging in this area caused the house to sink. A female resident disclosed that while taking a nap at noon, she suddenly heard a loud noise, which was as frightening as an explosion. Residents on the first floor said their wall had cracked. At 8 p.m., another loud noise was heard, causing the entire building to shake and prompting everyone to run downstairs in fear. Some netizens speculated the loud noise in the building was likely due to a pile breaking. Someone else reminded, "It has already cracked and it may collapse at any time." Another netizen lamented, "A house is a lifetime of savings, and now it's all gone." On September 9th, staff from the Hongqi community where the incident occurred told the media that there should be no major problems with the building involved and claimed that the cracking of the load-bearing wall was not true. However, one resident posted a video saying, "After the incident, an expert came to evaluate and said that the engineering team next door would just apply some plaster to the cracked parts of the building. The load-bearing wall of the garage was clearly cracked, and the house was still cracking. Who will take care of it? It seems that, in the eyes of the CCP, an important incident that obviously involves the safety of the people in the entire building can be easily dismissed and deemed to be no problem. The issue of shoddy construction is also prone to causing safety accidents. On September 11th, 2024, according to China Mainland Image Network, Mr. Jiang from Langfang City, Hebei Province, was installing an air conditioner for a user in a high-rise building with more than 20 floors. At that time, he was carrying the outdoor air conditioning unit on his back and reached out to grab the guardrail where the unit was installed on the building's outer wall. Suddenly, one end of the guardrail loosened immediately because it was only fixed with an expansion screw at one end. Mr. Jiang said with lingering fear that he was lucky to have the main rope and auxiliary rope tied to his body, which prevented him from falling when the guardrail loosened. If he had tied only a single safety rope like most installation workers, the consequences could have been disastrous. In response, netizens commented, "The guardrail is too perfunctory. This is simply playing with life. Such construction quality is chilling." Others pointed out, "It's really fortunate that nothing happened. Can the developer not cut corners in such places?" Some netizens asked, if the worker this time had only tied a single safety rope, who would be responsible for a fatal accident? Moreover, the issue of substandard construction not only causes ordinary people to suffer, but also affects CCP officials' office buildings. On the evening of October 23, 2024, the office building of the Taxation Bureau in Chuanying District, Jilin City, Jilin Province, unexpectedly collapsed. Many police cars arrived to block the road. According to nearby residents, this building used to house the tax office of the Taxation Bureau. It was recently being renovated, and the staff had already relocated to other offices. The nearby police station confirmed that the building was under renovation when it collapsed and reported no casualties so far. However, some netizens questioned. They said there should be no one there after work hours. So, was there really no one on duty at night? Others asked, why call an ambulance if there are no casualties? It seems the CCP's reassurances failed to convince the public. Even underground garages have turned into water curtain caves due to the problem of shoddy construction. Marriage is one of the 4 major happy events in life, and encountering substandard construction on the wedding day could leave a psychological scar for the affected parties. Man, red envelope, not enough, accept it. While the groom and his groomsmen happily handed red envelopes to the bride's relatives and friends, the poor quality door pillars caused by shoddy construction likely left everyone shaken. The CCP's shoddy construction has also been exposed one by one through natural and man-made disasters. On December 19, 2021, a 6.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in Masu Province, killing 113 people and injuring 782. This earthquake also slapped the CCP in the face because its so-called poverty alleviation and building a beautiful new countryside efforts in the area have become a joke. This photo was taken in the Xi'an earthquake zone in Masu Province. On one side is a wall painted with beautiful paint, while on the other is a real adobe wall that crumbled during the earthquake. Netizens vividly captioned the image with the words, "poverty" and "well off." Some netizens said, many things in China really can't stand the test. Others pointed out, even with the appearance of being well off, the essence of poverty has not changed. Some even teased the CCP, saying, don't underestimate such a thin layer of paint. It's not cheap. Who knows how much it cost? The video below reveals the CCP's fig leaf of poverty alleviation more specifically and vividly. After the earthquake in Xi'an County, Masu Province, a serious problem was exposed. Many painted walls collapsed. These walls were painted in uniform colors to look beautiful, neat, and seemingly safe. Of course, those familiar with the CCP know this safety exists in name only. Some remarked that the earthquake revealed another side of Masu Province, the poverty in rural northwest areas, and the many adobe houses hidden under a veneer of paint. Although these homes appear beautiful and safe due to their painted facades, the underlying structural issues remain. The CCP has long touted the slogan of building a beautiful countryside, claiming great success. However, the local government merely painted the exterior walls of farmers' adobe houses and labeled it a new countryside, ignoring the crucial issue of housing safety. This is truly incredible, but it is not surprising, given the Chinese government's love of superficial projects. Officials at all levels seek to please their superiors to secure promotions, while local people bear the brunt of these failures. So, when the earthquake struck, it shook off the CCP's shame wall. Mr. He, a resident of Jilin City, noted that many local governments in China have set up real estate development companies to contract municipal projects, leading to rampant corruption and bribery. Municipal projects are subcontracted layer by layer, from well-connected parties to the least capable engineering teams, who are forced to cut corners. Meanwhile, higher-level officials turn a blind eye, leaving ordinary citizens to suffer the consequences. Mr. He said, "This is the current state of the people. The Communist Party doesn't care whether they live or die." Tang Jingyuan, a commentator based in the United States, said, "The vast majority of profits and benefits from the real estate economy have been taken by the CCP's red elite families, along with officials at all levels and powerful departments. This is the root cause of so many substandard projects and the widespread cutting of corners." New Tofu construction, shopping malls and stores collapse in 2 cities on the same day. Tofu projects and buildings have mushroomed under the CCP regime due to rampant corruption among officials and cadres. Corruption permeates from top to bottom, even in the construction sector, leading to the use of substandard materials, steel, and cement. As a result, these constructions are of poor quality, with crumbling walls made of sand, concrete without reinforcement, and buildings that easily collapse during unexpected incidents. Many cases of residential buildings and large traffic bridges collapsing have occurred in mainland China, causing significant loss of life and property. The number of such incidents increases every year, but the CCP regime continues to ignore the problem. Recently, on the same day, shopping malls or shops collapsed in both Chongqing and Changzhou, Jiangsu. In Chongqing, 1 person was killed and another injured, while fortunately, no casualties were reported in Changzhou. However, a witness claimed he had narrowly escaped death, passing the site only 2 minutes before the collapse. On the afternoon of September 21st, local time, a netizen in Chongqing posted in an online community that a house collapsed in Gaomiao village, Shapingba, Chongqing, and it was suspected that people were buried. Mainland media later reported that at 8 or 9 a.m. on the 21st, a shop engaged in waterproofing business collapsed in the Lianfang waterproof wholesale market on Xixiao Road, Shapingba District, Chongqing. Several people were buried at the scene of the accident, though the specific casualties were initially unknown. Later that day, the Chongqing Shapingba District Media Center released a statement saying that the interlayer of a store at number 160 Xixiao Road, Shapingba District, had collapsed, trapping 2 people. After rescue efforts, both were sent to the hospital. 1 person died after unsuccessful resuscitation, and the other was injured but not in life-threatening condition. The cause of the collapse is under investigation. On the same day, netizens in Changzhou City, Jiangsu Province posted about a pedestrian corridor on the 2nd floor of Changzhou Taifu Times Square collapsing. Fortunately, it was still early, and there were few people in the mall. No one was passing by at the time, so no casualties occurred. Another eyewitness posted a video of the scene, saying that he had just passed by the corridor when it collapsed. "I was scared to tears. It suddenly collapsed. It was just 2 minutes before and after I passed by the god of death." The netizen also reflected, "At that moment, I realized nothing is more precious than life." That afternoon, Dafeng News, part of the mainland media Huaxiang Daily, reported that the corridor collapse at Taifu Times Square in Zhutown, Zhongluo District, Changzhou City, occurred at around 8 a.m. on the 21st. A passage in the accident scene had been completely destroyed, with pipes spraying water, and the scene was chaotic. A merchant in Tofu Times Square told Dafeng News that the collapsed corridor on the second floor of Futai Times Square was neither affected by the typhoon nor undergoing any shop renovation. It just collapsed. The specific cause is still under investigation. In China, the term tofu dregs, the remnants left after making tofu, is widely used as a metaphor for poor workmanship, meaning that a tofu dreg project refers to a poorly executed endeavor. The term tofu project was first coined by former Premier Zhu Rongji in 1998, when he remarked during a tour of the Yangtze River flood protection embankments that they were as fragile and spongy as tofu dregs. The term gained national attention after the 2008 Sichuan earthquake, where 20,000 of the nearly 70,000 victims were schoolchildren who died in collapsed school buildings, later shown to have been hastily and carelessly built. In July 2010, anger erupted in the hard-hit Sichuan earthquake area when a building intended as a new home for earthquake victims collapsed just weeks before it was due to be put into use. The prevalence of these tofu projects results from rampant corruption and graft in China. Officials often skim money from projects, leaving insufficient funds for quality materials, qualified staff, and proper workmanship. Additionally, projects are frequently awarded to companies based on political connections rather than qualifications. Due to frequent house collapses and poor quality tofu dreg construction, the mainland media outlet Shanghua News listed 5 warning signs before a building collapse for readers to be aware of. 1. The ground suddenly sinks. Hollows or cracks appear suddenly and increase. 2. Severe cracks develop in load-bearing columns, beams, slabs, or walls. 3. Deformation of load-bearing columns, beams, slabs, or walls, or serious decay or corrosion of wooden components. 4. Large areas of the wall or ceiling suddenly peel or fall off. 5. The building suddenly makes abnormal sounds,